Hello students! In our previous video, we learned about circulatory system in animals. We also saw evolution of heart in different animals. Today let us learn about another organ, blood vessels. The human circulatory system is made up of major organs, that is heart and blood vessels. There are three types of blood vessels: arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart and gives it to different organs, while veins carry deoxygenated blood or impure blood from different organs towards the heart. Students, oxygenated blood, also called as pure blood, has the highest concentration of oxygen, which is exchanged at the lungs and carries it to the heart and then to various organs, while deoxygenated blood has the highest concentration of carbon dioxide produced from cells, carries to the heart and then to the lungs for its purification. So students, we can say that heart pumps 1 volume of deoxygenated blood towards the lungs for its purification or oxygenation, and the other volume of oxygenated blood towards the organs. Since the blood pumped out by heart is under tremendous pressure, the arteries which receives the blood have thick and elastic walls. These walls are made up of abundant elastic fibers and less smooth muscles to withstand the high pressure of blood being pumped out. And as the pressure is much lower in veins than in the arteries, the walls of veins are thin and less elastic. They are also provided with valves to prevent any backflow of the blood. The walls of arteries and veins have three tissue layers: the outer layer called tunica adventitia, a middle layer called tunica media, and the inner layer called tunica intima. Anatomically, an artery possesses a narrow lumen or a diameter, while a vein has a wider lumen or a diameter. Also, the arterial walls are more muscular than those of veins to withstand high pressures. Students, do you know which is the largest artery in the body? Yes, it is the aorta. It is the largest artery which comes out from the left ventricle of the heart. Aorta, the largest artery, then divides into smaller arteries, which further splits into small arterioles, which in turn branch out into many tiny hair-like capillaries. These capillaries bring the blood in contact with all single individual cells present in all tissues of the body. The capillary walls are made of single layer of endothelial cells so that they can exchange gases and waste materials or other chemicals quickly and easily. Yes, they are one cell thick. Here, endo means inside and thelium means layer, which means layer of cells inside the membrane of the organ. In contrast, recall that organ like skin have layer of cells on their outer surface. This layer is called as epithelium, and the cells forming this layer are called as epithelial cells, where epi means outer and thelial means layer. In fact, students, the endothelial cells not only line capillaries from inside, but they line every blood vessel in the body. They form a one cell thick layer called endothelium on the inner walls of arteries, veins, the heart chambers, and the lymphatic vessels as well. But do you know that this endothelium layer is very extensive? If all the endothelium tissue in an adult body is spread out, it would take up the area of 8 tennis courts. Okay, now coming back to our capillaries. Students, capillaries are smallest in size but largest in number. Yes, this is a contradiction. They are largest because they provide nutrition and take away waste materials from each and every cell of the body. They form connection between arteries and veins. The primary function of capillaries is the exchange of substances between blood and cells of different tissues. For example, in lungs, at the alveolar surface, blood from capillaries exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. Or in kidneys, at the surface of nephrons, blood in capillaries exchange salts and excretory wastes. The capillaries then join to form larger venules. Venules in turn join to form still larger veins. All the veins merge into two largest veins, called as superior and inferior vena cava. So we can say that major blood vessels connecting the whole circulatory system, that is, connecting the heart to the rest of the body, are superior vena cava, the inferior vena cava, the pulmonary veins, the pulmonary artery, the aorta, and the coronary arteries. The superior and inferior vena cava bring deoxygenated blood from whole body to the right atrium, while pulmonary veins empty their blood into left atrium, which is brought from lungs. The aorta, the largest artery, receives the blood from left ventricle and gives blood to rest of the body, while pulmonary artery gets blood from right ventricle and takes it to the lungs. Now students, let us see the other special type of blood vessels called as coronary blood vessels. Blood vessels that supply blood to the cardiac muscles with all nutrients and remove the waste produced by heart cells or cardiac cells are called as coronary blood vessels. The blood vessels which supply oxygenated blood to heart cells are called as coronary arteries, and blood vessels which take away waste materials from the heart cells are called as coronary veins. Together, both are called as coronary blood vessels. Students, as arteries surrounding the heart are usually present in the manner of crown, they are called as coronary artery. Since corona means crown, heart is supplied by two arteries, namely right and left coronary arteries. These arteries are the first branch of the aorta, and they further branch into smaller arterioles and capillaries to provide blood to individual cells of heart. Coronary veins take up deoxygenated blood and metabolic waste from the cells of the heart and take it to the respective organs for purification, that is, either liver or lungs. So now, since we have studied that apart from heart, blood vessels are also important organ that form circulatory system, let's quickly summarize the difference between all three types of blood vessels that we have seen. The main function of arteries is to send blood from the heart to different organs, while veins is to send blood towards the heart from different organs. While main function of capillaries is material exchange with tissues. The blood pressure in arteries is high, veins is low, and capillaries is even lower. As we saw, arteries have larger diameter and veins have extremely narrow diameter. let us say 1 cell wide. Arteries have thick wall, whereas veins have thin walls, and capillaries have extremely thin walls of single cell thickness. Both arteries and veins have 3 layers: tunica adventitia, tunica media, and tunica intima, while capillaries, as said, they are single cell, thick, and hence have only 1 layer, tunica intima. Arteries have large amounts of muscle and elastic fibers as compared to veins, while capillaries have none of them. Arteries and capillaries lack valves for the backflow, while veins have valves which stop their backflow. In our next video, we will learn about different types of circulatory flows and different types of circulatory system.